You're listening to School Counseling Simplified, a podcast with easy-to-implement strategies for busy school counselors. Here's your host, Rachel Davis from Bright Futures Counseling.
Do you ever have a kiddo pop into your office last minute and you need an activity to do quickly? Or do you ever wish you had access to hundreds of school counseling resources at your fingertips? Well, my Impact School Counselor membership is for you. Inside Impact, you get access to hundreds of resources sorted by topic, tier, season, or monthly lesson plans. Simply log on, find what you need, download it, and use it with your students right away. You also get access to our community where you can meet like-minded school counselors to troubleshoot tough cases, get inspired, and collaborate with your colleagues. Not only that, we also know how important it is to stay on top of your professional development. That's why we offer live quarterly trainings on hot topics that you need most. Impact is designed to make your counseling life easier. I know you're super busy. That's why I've made it super simple to access everything you need in one place. This way you can spend your time and energy doing what you love the most, helping kiddos. If you're looking for a one-stop shop for all of your counseling needs so you don't have to worry about searching on different sites, paying for things here and there, you can find everything you need on demand in one place in Impact.
Head over to stressfreeschoolcounseling.com/impact to watch a sneak peek video behind the scenes of what all is included in the membership. Again, that's stressfreeschoolcounseling.com/impact to get started today. I can't wait to help you make an impact. Thanks for listening to another episode of School Counseling Simplified. So earlier this month, I was talking to you about creating a data wall to showcase the services that you've provided. So if you haven't listened to that episode, I really encourage you to go back, I think it was 2 episodes ago, to check that out. You don't want to miss this. I talk about what a data wall is, where to put it in your school, why we're doing this, and then the services provided. So go back, recap that episode, and then we will dive into this one, okay? So go do that if you haven't yet. Now that you're here with me, let's talk about student progress data. So like I said earlier, we were talking about how many students we're seeing, how often we're doing class lessons, things like that, what percentage of our time is being spent where, and so on. Now we're going to talk about the student progress data. So this is the fun stuff. So everyone can do the previous one, the latter, right? Talking about, look at your calendar, look at your planner to count how many students that you've been seeing. Anyone who's been doing counseling can do that. But perhaps not everyone's ready for this level of the data wall. This is a little more advanced. This is if you have been collecting data, how you can showcase it. Now, if you're thinking, I haven't been collecting data, no worries, don't tune out on me just yet, because this is a mid-year data checkpoint, meaning that you can hear what I'm about to say to get ideas for how you can do this for the remainder of the school year. Then you will for sure have some stuff for your end of the year report come May or June. So, student progress data is when we're looking at how students have changed as a result of our counseling services. So how have they improved as a result of our counseling services? Now, we can do this through a variety of ways, but my 2 favorite ways are by using self-assessments and behavior surveys. So self-assessments are a great way for students to self-reflect. So this is student self-perceived progress. Students can answer the questions before and after counseling services. So if you've been doing any kind of pre-post test, then you will have this data. And you can look and see, did the kiddos change as a result of my counseling? Did they improve? Do they know things now that they did not know before? That's amazing. We totally want to showcase that. But maybe they did not improve. Well, then we can look at a couple things. Is it just 1 or 2 students out of the group who didn't improve? Then perhaps they need more support. Or did the entire group miss something? Then perhaps that needs to be taught differently. So you can kind of move students up or down tiers based on how they fare on the self-assessments, right? So if we see that they don't understand things, maybe they need more support, maybe they need individual counseling. Or if they were in individual counseling, maybe we need to refer it to outside services or do some push-in support. If they were just at the class lesson level and you do a class lesson and gather some data, yes, you can gather data in class lessons too. All of my stress-free class lessons members know all about that. But if you gather data in a class lesson and you see that a small group of the class is struggling after you taught a lesson, put them in a small group. So the data is really telling, but that's not what this episode's about. I'm getting on a tangent because I just love chatting about this stuff. But this episode is about showcasing the student progress data using a data wall. So once you collect this data. You can use beautiful charts and graphs. I love to use Google Forms to digitally collect the data, or to input. Even if you collected paper versions, you can, just choose a few samples to select to input there digitally, because then you just click the responses tab and they have the graphs for you. Simply snag a screenshot, print it out, throw it on your bulletin board. Boom, ready to go. Easy peasy. So you can show how the students have improved as a result of your counseling services using the student self-assessments. Now, another piece that's really powerful to pair this with is the behavior surveys. So behavior surveys are surveys that you're going to send to parents and teachers pre and post. Ideally both, but if you only have post, that's fine, better than nothing. And you're going to ask how the behaviors are. So, the self-assessment is more like what the student thinks. The behavior surveys are showing how they're acting, right? What does this look like in action, in the day-to-day, in the classroom, at home? Are they using their coping strategies? Are they using their calm down skills? These are things we want to see. Are they, showing signs that they're less stressed or less anxious as a result of your counseling services? Do they know how to de-escalate themselves? Do they know how to self-regulate? Things like that. So you will ask in a behavior survey, the student knows how to use coping strategies when they're feeling upset. The student asks for help when they're feeling upset, or my child asks for help, or whatever. Some at home, some at school. I love to do this because we're getting the full picture. We're getting the home view, the school view, and paired with the self-assessments, we have the student view as well. So, and you can, use all of this combined with your own observations as the school counselor to really see a picture of if the student's progressing. Now, we can share this behavior data on our data wall as well, so showing how behaviors have changed as a result of your counseling services. At home, they weren't using coping strategies, but then flash forward to, 6 sessions later, now they are. Or in the classroom, we were seeing them being sent out of the classroom for a disruptive behavior this many times. Now they've lessened it to this many times. So this data is so powerful. You don't want to include student names, obviously, keep it confidential, but this is some valuable data that you can include on your data wall to show, look at the impact that my counseling services are having. Now, this shows the importance of our role as school counselors. This can help you advocate for more counselors, for more time. So saying, look, I'm making such a difference in this limited time I have. I would love to not be testing coordinator anymore. I would love to get rid of my non-counselor duties so I can spend more time with more students, making more of an impact. Having the data really helps you communicate that. And like I said in that previous episode, you want to put your data wall somewhere where everyone can see it, especially stakeholders. You could do this virtually, put it on your school website, print out a report, send to staff. But I love doing a bulletin board, a data wall, and I'll link to mine in the show notes. I have a template for you guys if you want to see an example or have something to get started with. But yeah, the student progress data is so powerful and so awesome, and especially if you pair it with the services provided data, you're showing not only is this the number of students that I'm reaching, but this is what's happening in those sessions. Because what good is, doing 50 sessions if nothing comes of it? But paired together, this is like so powerful, so awesome, and such a great way to wrap up your semester. So I want to share this now because I know December gets crazy hectic. So that way you can kind of prep, start gathering your data, and then showcase it. Now you may be thinking, this is so much work. I did 10 groups, each with 6 students. That's so many self-assessments and behavior surveys to collect. Choose one group, choose one group to highlight. Choose one group that you saw great results with, highlight that one. Choose some students who you saw really good results in, highlight a few individuals. You don't have to show all the data, just choose some to highlight. So I hope that makes it feel less overwhelming and more doable, because my mission is to help school counselors use data to increase more students, to impact more students, and to advocate for their role. So I hope you guys find this super helpful. I cannot wait to see your data wall. Please tag me on Instagram at Bright Futures Counseling. I would love to see the data wall that you are doing at your school. And let me know if you have any questions about this. Like I said, I'm really passionate about it and can't wait to see the difference you guys are making. All right, thanks so much. Have an awesome rest of your week.
Thanks for listening to School Counseling Simplified. You can find the links from today's episode in the show notes. If you'd like to connect with Rachel, she's on Instagram and Teachers Pay Teachers at Bright Futures Counseling. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss any episodes of School Counseling Simplified. Talk to you next week.